You know, one of the greatest traps we fall into in life is thinking that our destiny is dictated by our circumstances. We look around and say, well, this is just the way it is. I was born into this, or that happened to me, so how can I be anything else? But pause right there. Take a deep breath with me, because this way of thinking isn't just limiting, it's a cage we've built ourselves, and the key to freedom. It lies in this transformative realization: you are not a product of your circumstances, you're a product of your choices. Think about that for a moment. Let it sink in, because this understanding, it's the foundation for an entirely new life. I want you to picture your life as a vast canvas, one that's been splashed with the colors of your experiences, your past choices, your environment. But here's the thing, there's still so much blank space on that canvas. And every day, every hour, every single moment, you have a brush in your hand. You're the artist of your life. Your choices are the strokes you make, not what someone else painted on there before you even knew what a brush was. Here's a real hook. What if you decided right now to make a single choice that could alter the course of your life forever? It's powerful, right? The awareness that one decision could pivot everything. Let's take it a step further. Think back to a time when you felt absolutely stuck, where every door seemed closed, where your options seemed slim to none. You might have felt the weight of failure, or the sting of heartbreak, or the suffocation of debt or disappointment. But let me remind you of something. Even in those moments, your future wasn't a product of the mess around you. It was shaped by the way you chose to respond. How you reacted, that is where your power has always been. Because life, my friends, doesn't shape us. We shape life by the meaning we attach to the things that happen to us and the actions we take afterward. Let me share a quick story with you. Picture this, there's a man, let's call him David. David grew up in a tough neighborhood, surrounded by people who told him he'd never amount to much. Crime, poverty, and hopelessness, these were the circumstances of his environment. Everyone expected him to stay trapped in that reality, and for a while he believed it too. But one day David did something extraordinary. He looked in the mirror and made a choice. Not a huge, dramatic gesture, but a small, simple decision. I'm going to read a book every week to better myself. That one choice led to more. He chose to study, to find mentors, to keep evolving. David didn't just change his life, he transformed it. Today, he's successful, fulfilled, giving back to his community. He wasn't a product of his circumstances, he was a product of the choices he made to rise above them. Now, what about you? What story are you telling yourself about where you are and what you can become? Because here's the kicker: your mind is like a garden. What you plant, water, and nurture grows. Plant seeds of fear and doubt, and that's exactly what you'll harvest. But plant seeds of courage, of possibility, and watch a forest of opportunities spring up. Let's get practical. How do we shift from feeling like victims of life to creators of our own experience? The first step is becoming radically aware of your thoughts, because thoughts shape your choices and your choices shape your reality. I want you to think of your thoughts as the architects of your destiny. Are they designing a life of freedom or one of confinement? Are you dreaming big, or are you stuck in that loop of I'm not good enough or I can't because? Dyer once said, you don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. So if you want abundance, start by thinking abundant thoughts. If you crave love, radiate love. If you desire success, embody it in the way you carry yourself every day. Let's talk about energy. Everything in the universe, including you, is made of energy. The thoughts you hold vibrate at a certain frequency. When you carry around a belief of limitation, you're vibrating on a low, restricted frequency. But the moment you choose to think, I am worthy, I am capable, I am limitless, your energy rises and the world starts to respond to the new you. This isn't magic, it's alignment. It's the universe matching the vibration you're putting out. So how do we make this practical, life-changing philosophy stick? Here's a simple exercise: choice awareness. The next time something challenging happens, pause. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, what's my choice here? Recognize that no matter how small or big, you have the power to choose your response. Imagine, for example, you lose your job. It's easy to spiral, to blame the economy, your boss, your circumstances. But in that space of awareness, you can choose. You can choose to use this as an opportunity to pivot to a career you've always wanted. You can choose to learn a new skill, to network, to grow, to evolve. Suddenly that setback, it's a setup for a comeback. Take a moment to consider where you're holding yourself back. Is it in your career, your relationships, your health? What limiting beliefs are chaining you down? Maybe you've been telling yourself that you're not disciplined, or you're too old to start something new, or that success is for others, not for you. But today, right now, you have the choice to challenge those beliefs. You have the choice to step into a new narrative. Do you remember the last time you felt absolutely alive, like you were living on purpose? That feeling is your spirit reminding you of what you're capable of when you choose to act from a place of possibility, not fear. Hold on to that feeling. Make decisions from there, because every choice you make from a place of strength and love reverberates out into the universe and returns tenfold. I want you to take this moment and feel gratitude. Gratitude for the power you have to choose, for the unlimited potential within you, even for the challenges, because they're opportunities in disguise, chances to choose differently and create something better. Let go of who you were yesterday and welcome the self that's waiting to unfold tonight. Choose right now to embrace your limitless nature. Everything begins with a choice. You know, we live in a world where freedom is often measured in what we own, where we travel, or how many choices we have. But let me offer you a radical shift in perspective. True freedom isn't about what you have, it's about what you believe. Sit with that for a moment, because when we start talking about the deepest, most profound sense of freedom, it all begins right here in your mind. Think about it. How many people do you know who have everything they could possibly need? The house, the car, the success. Yet they're trapped, prisoners of their own thoughts. And then there are those who seem to have so little yet move through life with a grace and lightness that feels almost unearthly. What's the difference? It's not in their circumstances, it's in their beliefs. Here's a powerful truth I want you to soak in. What you believe shapes your entire reality. The greatest change doesn't happen when you get a promotion, win the lottery, or buy that dream home. It happens when you change your mind. And this, my friends, is where real liberation begins. See, we often talk about freedom as if it's something we can acquire, but I want to challenge you tonight. What if freedom isn't a destination but a state of being? What if it has nothing to do with the external and everything to do with the internal? Let me share a story. There was once a man named Paul. Paul grew up in a tough environment. Financial struggle, constant stress, and a belief system that screamed, "You'll never be more than this." He fought hard, climbed the corporate ladder, made a lot of money. But you know what? Paul felt caged, more trapped than he ever did growing up poor. Because even though he changed his circumstances, his beliefs hadn't budged an inch. One day he had an epiphany. He realized he was free to the extent he believed he was free. So he began the real work, not on his finances, but on his mindset. He stopped believing that his worth was tied to his paycheck. He let go of the story that he needed to hustle constantly to feel valuable. And as he shifted those beliefs, everything around him changed. He felt lighter, happier, more aligned. Paul had discovered the ultimate freedom, not through what he gained, but through what he gained, but through what he let go of. Here's a little hook for you. What's keeping you trapped isn't your life, it's your mind. You might not be physically bound, but your thoughts could be wrapping you in chains tighter than any prison walls ever could. Let's go deeper. Reflect on a time when you felt limited. Maybe it was a job you hated, a relationship that made you feel small, or even your self-perception when looking in the mirror. Now think about what kept you there. Was it really the situation, or was it what you believed about yourself? Did you stay because you thought you couldn't do better, or because you feared the unknown, or maybe because you believed this is all I deserve? Our beliefs are powerful. They can build empires of dreams or construct walls that box us in. The mind is a fertile ground. What seeds are you planting? Here's a practical exercise to illuminate this. Picture your mind as a garden. Every thought you entertain, every belief you hold is a seed. When you water seeds of "I'm not good enough," or "I'll always be stuck," they grow into weeds that suffocate your potential. But if you plant seeds like "I'm limitless," or "opportunities come to me effortlessly," then you grow a lush garden of possibilities. This is the work. This is the liberation we're talking about. Now, what does it mean to choose thoughts that liberate? It means deciding that you are more than your past, more than your doubts, more than the opinions of others. It means giving yourself permission to live expansively, unapologetically. Think about Nelson Mandela, a man who spent 27 years in prison. His body was confined, but his mind, it was free. He chose thoughts of peace, unity, and hope even when surrounded by concrete and bars. That mental freedom allowed him to emerge as one of the most inspiring figures in history. You see, even in chains, he was freer than many of us are in our day-to-day lives. How would your life change if you believed with every fiber of your being that you were already free? Free from societal pressures, free from fear, free from the need to please others. I want you to feel the weight of that possibility. True freedom, the kind that transcends all limitations, begins with a choice. Choose your beliefs wisely. Choose to see life not as a series of obstacles, but as a playground of opportunities. Choose to view every setback as a setup for your comeback. Choose thoughts that make you feel light, expansive, and full of potential. You may be thinking, it's not that easy, and you're right. It isn't simple, but it is powerful. And like any skill, it takes practice. But the alternative, living a life dictated by limiting beliefs, is far more difficult in the long run. Let's talk about the power of a single shift. Picture this: you wake up in the morning and the first thought that crosses your mind is, I'm overwhelmed. Guess what? Your day unfolds with stress, anxiety, and dread. Now imagine waking up and choosing to think, I'm grateful for the gift of today. I'm excited about what's possible. That simple shift changes the energy you carry, and as you know, energy attracts energy. You've probably heard this before: you can't always control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond. But here's a deeper level to that: your response comes from your beliefs. If you believe that life is out to get you, you'll react from a place of fear and defensiveness. But if you believe that life is for you, even the hard parts, you'll respond with grace and curiosity. Here's a fun hook: what if life isn't happening to you but for you? What if every challenge is a disguised blessing, every no a redirection to a bigger yes? When you choose thoughts that liberate, you begin to see life through this lens of possibility. Take a moment to close your eyes and visualize your life 5 years from now if you started choosing freedom today. See yourself living boldly, free from the weight of judgment or self-doubt. Imagine the people you'll inspire, the experiences you'll have, and the inner peace you'll feel. Now bring yourself back to this moment. What's stopping you from starting now? Is it the belief that you're not ready, that you need to learn more, do more, be more? Remember, those are just beliefs. And beliefs can be changed. Start small. Catch yourself when you think, I can't, and replace it with, I'll try. When you think, I'm not worthy, remind yourself, I am enough. Right now, as I am, these little shifts in belief will start a revolution in your life. You'll move from a place of lack to one of abundance, from fear to trust. There's a quote that says, change your thoughts, change your world, and it's true. The world outside you is a reflection of the world inside you. If you want to see more beauty, more kindness, more opportunity, become that within yourself. Choose beliefs that set your spirit free. Let's ground this with one last visualization. Imagine standing at a crossroads. To one side is a path well trodden, lined with the beliefs and limitations you've carried for years. It's predictable, familiar, and feels safe but unfulfilling. The other path is wild, full of possibility and unknown adventure. It's the path of choosing thoughts that liberate, the path that leads to the fullest expression of your life. Which path will you choose? Feel the excitement of stepping into the unknown. Feel the energy of liberation coursing through you. Because here's the secret: the greatest adventure you'll ever take is the one within your mind. And when you free your mind, everything, absolutely everything, becomes possible. You know, there's a deep, often overlooked truth about life that can transform the way you experience the world. It's a secret that sages, spiritual leaders, and philosophers have whispered across the ages. And here it is: the universe mirrors back the energy you send out. Think about that for a moment. Really let it sink in. Imagine for a second that your whole life is like this vast, interconnected, vibrational dance. Every thought you have, every feeling you radiate, every belief you hold creates an energy wave that ripples outward. and the universe responds by matching that frequency. This isn't just abstract spiritual fluff, it's a very real and powerful way to live in alignment with the essence of who you are. You are a vibrational being in a vibrational universe. Let's break it down with something you can feel, something relatable. Have you ever woken up on the wrong side of the bed? You stub your toe, you spill your coffee, and suddenly it feels like everything that can go wrong does go wrong. You think to yourself, why me? And it's like the universe hears you loud and clear and says, why not? Here's some more of the energy you're putting out is chaos, frustration, and impatience, and the universe reflects that right back to you. But here's the flip side. Have you ever noticed that when you're in a state of gratitude, joy, and purpose, things just seem to flow? Opportunities show up, people are kinder, and life feels well aligned. It's like a universal law, what you put out comes back. When you align with love, purpose, and gratitude, life meets you with unimaginable blessings. So here's a hook for you. What kind of energy are you putting out right now? Take a moment and feel it. Is it abundant and expansive, or is it constrained and fearful? Because whatever it is, the universe is getting ready to send that same energy right back your way. Let's get really practical about how this works. If you walk around thinking, I never have enough, whether it's money, love, or time, guess what? You're radiating a frequency of lack. And what you attract are situations that reinforce that feeling. You'll get more bills in the mail, more people who don't value your time, more relationships that drain you. It's not that the universe is punishing you, it's simply mirroring back the energy you're sending out. Now let's talk about love. Oh, love. So many of us walk around longing for deeper connections, true intimacy, or a partner who sees us, really sees us. But here's the catch. If you're holding on to old wounds, if you're sending out signals of unworthiness, fear, or self-protection, the universe can only mirror that back. You might find yourself attracting people who mirror your doubts, who highlight your insecurities. Why? Because like attracts like. But when you choose to heal, when you align with love, pure, unconditional, expansive love, the universe responds. It doesn't mean every relationship becomes perfect, but it does mean that the love you're radiating becomes a magnet for others who are ready to love you deeply and truly. The love you seek is the love you become. Let's do a little exercise together right now. Close your eyes and place your hand over your heart. Feel the beating of your heart. Take a deep breath. And think of one person, place, or experience that brings you pure joy. It could be your child's laughter, the feeling of sun on your skin, or a memory that lights you up. Let that feeling of gratitude wash over you. Breathe it in. Feel it in every cell of your body. Now, as you hold that feeling, imagine sending that loving energy out into the universe. Radiate it like a warm golden light. And trust that as you send it out, it comes back to you multiplied. This isn't about pretending everything is perfect. It's about choosing the energy you wish to embody. It's about knowing that you have the power to create your reality, starting from the inside out. Here's a little mind-blowing insight for you. Every emotion has a frequency. Love and gratitude vibrate at the highest frequencies, while fear and anger are much lower. You have the power right now to raise your frequency. You can choose thoughts that lift you up rather than drag you down. Imagine for a moment that your mind is a powerful radio tower broadcasting signals out into the universe. If you're stuck on the lack and limitation channel, that's all you're going to hear. But with a simple shift, you can tune into the abundance and love channel. How do you do this? By consciously choosing your thoughts, your feelings, and the energy you send out. Now, I'm not saying life won't throw challenges your way. It absolutely will. But when you face those challenges from a place of alignment with love, with purpose, and with a grateful heart, you find that the universe responds differently. Doors that were once closed suddenly open. Solutions appear where before there were only problems. And people who share your vision, your energy, start to show up in ways you could never have imagined. Here's a question for you. Are you ready to align with the energy you want to receive? Because the universe isn't judging you. It's not out to get you or reward you. It's simply mirroring the vibration you send out. I once had a conversation with a friend who was always saying, I'll be happy when. I'll be happy when I get the promotion, when I find my soulmate, when I lose the weight. But here's what I told him, happiness isn't a destination, it's a frequency. You can choose to feel joy and gratitude right now in this moment, even if everything isn't perfect. Because when you do, you become a magnet for miracles. Life is happening for you, not to you. The universe wants to conspire in your favor, but you've got to play your part. You've got to align your energy with the outcomes you desire. That means acting with love, speaking with purpose, thinking with gratitude, and being the kind of person who radiates the energy of your dreams. So ask yourself, what energy am I putting out today? Am I sending signals of lack, worry, and fear? Or am I radiating love, gratitude, and possibility? Because remember, the universe is always listening. It's ready to mirror back the energy you choose to put out. You see, there's something most of us have backward. We think that success is some far-off destination, a mountain we have to conquer, a trophy we have to win, and that when we finally reach that goal, when we have the house, the career, the relationship, the accolades, then we'll feel worthy, happy, fulfilled. But here's the game changer. The mind-blowing shift. Success isn't found in goals alone. It's in becoming the person capable of achieving them. Pause. Feel the power of that for a moment. Success isn't something you chase, it's something you attract by the person you become. Let that idea settle in your bones. Here's a little story to illustrate this picture. A woman named Sarah. She's ambitious, driven, and she sets a goal to run a marathon. Now, if Sarah only focuses on the day of the race, she's missing the magic. The real transformation happens in the months of training. It's in the early morning runs, the discipline of showing up even when she's tired, the way she learns to nourish her body and mind. By the time Sarah crosses that finish line, she's not just someone who completed 26.2 miles, she's a completely different person, resilient, strong, focused. It wasn't about the medal, it was about becoming the kind of person who could earn that medal. Here's the secret: when you focus on who you are becoming, not just what you're achieving, you align yourself with the flow of life. Goals are great, but they're markers, signposts. What truly matters is the journey of growth and self-discovery that pursuing those goals demands of you. Take a deep breath, really feel that. Now, let me ask you, who are you becoming as you strive towards your dreams? Are you evolving into a version of yourself that's more compassionate, more courageous, more disciplined? Or are you so focused on what you lack that you've lost sight of the person you're growing into? I want to share with you a little exercise, a simple yet profound way to shift your focus from the external goal to the internal transformation. Close your eyes right now and visualize your biggest, most audacious dream. Maybe it's starting your own business, writing a book, or finding deep soul-connecting love. Whatever it is, see it vividly in your mind. Now imagine the person you have to become to achieve that. What qualities do you need to cultivate? Is it confidence, patience, tenacity? See yourself embodying those qualities right now. Feel it in your heart. Because here's the truth: the moment you begin to live as that future self, your life starts to shift. And let me be clear, this isn't about pretending or faking it. It's about genuinely cultivating the energy of the person who lives your dreams. Want to be a successful entrepreneur? Start thinking like one, acting like one. Want to attract love? Start embodying love in every interaction you have. It's not about getting, it's about being. Dyer once said, you don't get what you want, you get what you are. And isn't that an incredible revelation? The universe isn't some wish-fulfilling entity that gives you things because you want them badly enough. No, it responds to who you are at your core, the energy you radiate. So how do we embody this in a real, tangible way? Let's say you have a goal to be financially abundant. Instead of obsessing over the money itself, focus on becoming the kind of person who naturally attracts and handles wealth. What habits do financially abundant people have? They're disciplined, they think long-term, they invest in their growth. Start developing those habits today. Become a magnet for what you desire. Here's another example. If your goal is to be in a loving, healthy relationship, don't just dream about your perfect partner. Become the partner you're looking for. Work on your communication skills, heal your wounds, learn to love yourself. When you are loved, you will effortlessly attract more of it. The journey is inward, always inward. I'll give you a small but profound mantra: I am becoming. Repeat that with me. I am becoming. Feel the freedom in that. You don't have to have it all figured out. You're allowed to be a work in progress, to stumble, to rise, to learn. What matters is that you are becoming the version of yourself who is ready for the life you want to live. This idea isn't about perfection, it's about intention. Each day, each decision, each thought is a brick in the foundation of the person you're building. Are you building with strength, or are you letting the past and fear dictate the structure? Here's a hook to keep you thinking, what if you fell in love with the process, not just the prize? What if every challenge was an opportunity to become more of who you're meant to be? I want to share a little personal insight. There was a time in my life when I was so focused on external achievements, on proving myself, that I neglected my inner growth. I was chasing the next goal, the next milestone, thinking it would bring me happiness. But I had it all backward. When I shifted my focus inward, when I began to work on my character, my spirit, my mindset, something miraculous happened. The external world started to align. It was never about the achievements, it was about the person I was becoming along the way. Let's get real for a moment. Who you are when no one is watching, that's what defines your destiny. Do you keep your word to yourself? Are you disciplined when it's uncomfortable, kind when it's difficult, grateful when things are messy? These are the moments that shape your character. And your character, it's the foundation upon which all success is built. So ask yourself, who am I becoming in the pursuit of my goals? Am I resilient, adaptable, patient? Or am I easily discouraged, living in self-doubt, expecting success to fall into my lap without the inner work? This mindset shift is everything. When you prioritize who you are becoming, you realize that the journey itself is the reward. It's in the sweat, the tears, the triumphs, and the lessons. And suddenly, even setbacks become gifts because they mold you into a stronger, wiser, more compassionate version of yourself. And remember, life is not about getting to the top of some mountain. It's about becoming a mountain climber. It's about building the skills, the endurance, the love for the climb itself. Because even when you reach one summit, there will always be another peak calling you higher. I'll leave you with one final thought. What if your dream isn't just about you? What if in becoming the highest version of yourself, you inspire others to do the same? Your courage, your growth, your light, it ripples out. It transforms the world around you. Success isn't found in goals alone. It's in who you become on the way to achieving them. Cultivate the mind and spirit of your dreams and watch as everything else follows. Keep becoming, keep growing, keep loving the journey. Your past was a lesson, not a life sentence. Pause with me and let that truth wash over you. Let it sink deep into your being. Because we've all been there, haven't we? Haunted by old regrets, replaying conversations we wish we could rewrite, clinging to mistakes like they're permanent scars. But listen closely, those moments, those experiences, they were teachers, not judges. Your past doesn't hold a life sentence over you. It offered lessons to illuminate your growth, not chains to keep you bound. Right here, right now, let's embrace something life-altering. Don't let yesterday's story limit today's potential. What you lived through, what hurt you, what challenged you, it doesn't define you unless you give it permission. You see, your past is a chapter, not the whole book. And the pen is still in your hands. Yes, it's in your hands. How often do we walk through life believing the script we've been given? Maybe you've worn labels for years: not good enough, always the failure, unlovable, too broken to dream again. But those labels, they're not permanent tattoos, they're sticky notes. And guess what? You have the power to peel them off. Imagine this, you're driving a car, but instead of looking through the windshield to see where you're going, you're glued to the rearview mirror, fixated on where you've been. How far would you get? Probably not very far, right? Because living in the past doesn't propel you forward, it keeps you stuck. Life is about momentum, about learning from what's behind you, but keeping your eyes on the horizon. So let's do something bold today. Let's acknowledge our past, honor the lessons it brought, and then set it free. Take a moment. Close your eyes and visualize the weight you've carried from old hurts, regrets, and shame. Picture it like a massive backpack, heavy and worn. Feel its weight. Now visualize yourself unclasping that bag and setting it on the ground. Breathe, release it, because it no longer serves you. And here's where it gets powerful. The moment you release the grip of your past, you make room for the magic of today. You create space for the new, the unexpected, the extraordinary. It's like opening the windows of your soul and letting in fresh air. How liberating does that feel? Let's talk about something many people don't understand. Your mind's power to create your future starts in how you frame your past. Do you see those experiences as an anchor or as a launching pad? The choice is yours, and it's one that will shape your destiny. Think about it. Even the most painful experiences brought gifts. Maybe it was wisdom, resilience, or a deeper sense of empathy. Let me tell you about a woman named Sarah. She went through a devastating breakup. For years, she allowed the pain and rejection to define her. She believed she wasn't worthy of love, that she'd never be happy. Her past was running the show. But one day, she asked herself a pivotal question. What if that relationship ending wasn't a curse, but a blessing in disguise? Slowly, she began to see the ways she had grown, the lessons she had learned about self-love and boundaries. She transformed her pain into a newfound strength, and soon she opened herself up to a healthier, more fulfilling relationship. Her past was no longer a prison, it was a platform for something greater. What about you? Where in your life are you holding on to something that no longer serves you? Maybe it's an old story of not being good enough. Maybe it's guilt over a mistake you made years ago. But here's a question for you. If you're still punishing yourself, how can you grow? Wayne Dyer used to say, change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change your past only has power if you choose to see it as a barrier rather than a bridge. It's all about perception. Imagine your life as a garden. Your past is the soil where seeds were planted. Some seeds grew weeds and others blossomed into beautiful flowers. But today you get to decide what you cultivate moving forward. Will you continue to water the weeds of past regrets, or will you nurture new seeds of hope, possibility, and growth? You have the choice. Here's a little hook for you. Did you know you can rewrite your story at any moment? Yes, any moment. And rewriting your story doesn't mean erasing what happened. It means shifting your perspective. It means saying, that was a hard chapter, but it taught me how strong I am. That heartbreak broke me open, but it also showed me the depth of love I'm capable of. That failure knocked me down, but it ignited a fire within me that never would have sparked otherwise. What if today you made the conscious choice to turn your wounds into wisdom? Because here's the beauty of being human. We are not defined by our past. We are constantly evolving. Every breath, every heartbeat, every sunrise brings the chance to be reborn, to choose differently, to see with new eyes. I want you to imagine yourself standing in front of a mirror, looking into your own eyes. See that person staring back at you. They've been through so much. Acknowledge them, thank them for enduring every storm, for persevering through every setback, for growing even in the hardest seasons. But now with love, tell that past version of you that it's okay to let go. It's time to make room for the you that's ready to emerge. You are not your mistakes. You are not your failures. You are not the stories other people wrote about you. You are pure potential wrapped in human skin with the power to transform, to heal, to create. Your spirit is timeless, infinite, boundless. No past event can limit the soul that lives within you unless you give it permission. And here's another truth for you. You are worthy of every good thing. Sometimes we cling to old stories because we think we don't deserve more. We convince ourselves that our past defines our worth. But the universe doesn't work like that. It doesn't keep score of your mistakes. It's always ready to co-create with you, to meet you at the level of your highest, most daring intentions. Think of a phoenix rising from the ashes. That's the essence of what we're talking about. Even if you've hit rock bottom, even if you feel like the past has shattered you into 1,000 pieces, you have the power to rise, to become something new, something stronger, something more magnificent. But it starts with a choice. A choice to no longer let yesterday's story limit today's potential. So what do you choose? Will you keep looking backward, or will you step boldly into the unknown, ready to write a new chapter? Because the universe loves courage. It rewards those who dare to dream again, who dare to heal, who dare to love themselves even when they've been broken. Let today be the day you stop giving your past the authority to write your future. Stand in your power. Own your story, but don't let it own you. Feel the freedom that comes with that. Because life in all its beauty is waiting for you to say yes to what's next. Take a deep breath with me. Feel the lightness of this moment. You're free, you're limitless, you're ready to let your spirit soar. You know, sometimes life feels like this chaotic, unpredictable storm. Things happen that we never expected. Challenges drop in our lap when we least want them, and we start to wonder, why me? It's easy to believe that life is against us, that every hurdle is some cosmic punishment or cruel twist of fate. But my friends, here's a mind-blowing, heart-opening truth. Life isn't happening to you, it's happening for you. Every challenge, every triumph, every quiet moment of grace is here to elevate you, to pull you closer to the highest version of yourself. Let that sink in for a second. Imagine if, instead of seeing obstacles as setbacks, you saw them as stepping stones. What if every disappointment was a disguised blessing and every failure a key to unlocking a door you never knew existed? See, there's this little story I love about the butterfly. You probably heard some version of it, but let's really feel into it. A caterpillar goes into a cocoon, and it seems like it's the end of the world. Everything the caterpillar knew has disappeared. Darkness surrounds it, and it looks like a complete collapse. But that cocoon, it isn't a tomb. It's a womb for transformation. And inside, in the struggle to become something greater, a butterfly is born. Without the struggle to break free, the wings wouldn't be strong enough to fly. Now, I want you to think about a time in your life when you felt like everything was falling apart. Maybe it was a heartbreak, a loss, a failure that left you questioning everything. In that moment, it probably felt like the universe was conspiring against you. But looking back now, can you see how that pain led you to something beautiful? Maybe it showed you how strong you really are. Maybe it redirected you to a path that better aligns with who you're meant to be. Here's the thing, life isn't here to break you, it's here to make you. Every tear, every sleepless night, every why me moment has the power to shape you into someone wiser, more compassionate, and more resilient. Take a deep breath and think about that. Let's get real. Life is always going to have its storms, but what if those storms are clearing the path for something extraordinary? What if every downpour is watering the seeds of your potential? Here's a quick story to light up your heart. There was a man named Tom who worked tirelessly at his dream job. He was a talented artist, putting his whole heart into his work. But one day, he was fired out of the blue. Everything he'd built seemed to shatter. At first, Tom was devastated. He spent weeks wondering why life was being so cruel. But slowly, he'd picked up his brush again, this time painting from a place of pure passion without any rules or restrictions. And guess what? Those new pieces of art were noticed, celebrated, and eventually catapulted him into a career beyond his wildest dreams. Tom later said, "Losing that job wasn't the end, it was the beginning I never knew I needed." See what I mean? Sometimes life's way of elevating you looks like tearing everything apart, but trust that it's tearing down the old to make way for the new. I want you to picture your biggest challenge right now. Hold it in your mind. Maybe it's a health scare, a financial struggle, or a relationship that's in turmoil. Now, I want you to think, what if this isn't a setback? What if this is the moment you've been prepared for, the exact situation designed to help you grow into the person you're meant to become? And here's a wild concept: life is rigged in your favor. It doesn't always look like it, I know, but even the hardest situations are here for your soul's expansion, because the universe doesn't throw you into the deep end just to watch you drown. It's giving you swimming lessons. You just have to trust in your ability to learn and grow. Now let's talk about perspective shifts. You see, how you interpret your life events makes all the difference. Imagine you're driving and get stuck in a massive traffic jam, making you late for an important meeting. It's easy to feel frustrated, maybe even angry at the universe. But what if that delay kept you safe from a potential accident? What if being late led you to meet someone who'd change your life? The universe is full of these unseen connections, little miracles that we might not appreciate at first. But to see these gifts, you have to make a conscious choice. You have to choose to believe that life is happening for you, not to you. Think of a mountain climber. As they climb, the higher they go, the more challenging it becomes. But they know that each step, no matter how hard, is leading them to a breathtaking view. The rocks they stumble on, the thinning air, the fatigue, it's all part of the process. Without the climb, they wouldn't reach the summit. Now let's bring this back to you. Where are you climbing in your life, and what challenges are trying to make you stronger for the summit you're about to reach? Here's a practical exercise to help you embrace this mindset. When something happens that feels unfair or overwhelming, instead of asking, why is this happening to me, shift the question to, how is this happening for me? What is this situation teaching me? What strength or wisdom am I meant to gain here? Let's try something together. Think of a recent disappointment. It could be something small or a major heartbreak. Take a moment to feel it, acknowledge it. Now, with that situation in mind, repeat after me, this happened for me, not to me. Say it again. This happened for me, not to me. Feel the difference. That small shift is the doorway to a completely new perspective on life. Let's keep it rolling. Life is full of contrasts. We need the darkness to appreciate the light. We need failures to savor success. We need heartbreak to understand the depths of true love. These contrasts aren't here to punish you, they're here to give your life richness and texture. Every experience, whether we label it good or bad, is a teacher. Speaking of teachers, have you ever thought about the people in your life who challenge you the most? Maybe it's that boss who never appreciates your work, or that friend who betrayed your trust. It's tempting to label them as the villains in your story. But what if they're actually your greatest spiritual teachers? What if their presence in your life is guiding you to set boundaries, to grow stronger, to stand up for yourself, or to develop forgiveness? Sometimes the people who push our buttons the most are the ones who are elevating us in ways we can't yet see. Here's another hook for you: rejection is redirection. When something you wanted doesn't work out, it's life's way of pointing you towards something better. It's not personal, it's purposeful. So when you don't get that promotion, when the relationship you thought would last forever ends, or when your plans fall apart, trust that life is leading you to something greater. The doors that close are as important as the ones that open. And remember this: you have a partner in this journey called life. Call it God, call it the universe, call it whatever you like. There is a force that is always guiding you, always working behind the scenes for your highest good. When you align with that belief, life transforms. You start to see magic where you once saw obstacles. You start to feel empowered rather than defeated. So the next time you face something difficult, remember, life isn't happening to you, it's happening for you. Every moment is shaping you, molding you, preparing you to become the person you are meant to be. But let every challenge strengthen your wings, because, my friends, you are here to soar.